Hello and welcome to this edition of the Low Vision Kitchen. My name is Elliott and today I'm going to be making shepherd's pie. My version of shepherd's pie is just a very simple mixture. It's onion, some minced meat. I'm going to use beef. I apologise to my British watchers. I know shepherd's pie is actually made of lamb, but I am going to be using beef, so it's technically going to be a cottage pie. I also use salt, pepper, Worcester sauce, some mixed vegetables, and also the whole of the meal is then covered with a nice mashed potato topping. It's very simple to make and a very delicious meal to enjoy. The first thing that we have done is we have set our oven to preheat to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That is gas mark 4, and while we're preparing the meal, that will then be heating up nicely. One thing that worried me when I went blind was actually using knives, and quite naturally I was frightened of cutting myself because I couldn't really see. But there are a couple of very simple techniques that you can use, and I'll show you with this onion. So going to peel this onion in a moment. If you cut through the onion vertically, here I have the root on my right and where the stalks came up on the left. So if we cut through the onion itself down through the middle with our knife, keep our fingers away from the direction that the blade is going. This then allows us to open up the onion like that. You can then just pull away the outer skin of the onion very easily, and that will leave us with a nice clean onion that we can just wash off. We still have the root at the bottom, remember, so don't need to worry about that. And then do this one. Pull where the onion leaves came from back here. This then leaves you with a nice clean onion, again with the root. Now, to chop the onion, I'm going to, using a knife, we find where the root is on the base of the onion, and you feel this, it feels a little rough, so making sure you keep your fingers back there, cut down, keeping your fingers behind the blade of the knife, down through the onion, cut forward to where the top of the onion was, again slip down, keeping your fingers all the time behind the blade of the knife, and this allows you to cut fairly roughly. As you get more expert, you can cut more finely. I have 2 grooves here in this onion, so then we get our hand, which is not holding the knife, and fold the fingers down as though you were going to make a fist, and then just put the knife against the knuckle of your fingers and press down, and then just keep sliding the knife along the knuckle. Don't use any force as you bring the knife back. That will then allow you to just slip the knife through, keeping your knuckle as the guide for the knife. Keep your thumb tucked in until you come back to the root of the onion, and you're left with a fairly nice piece of onion there, but your onion will be chopped and it is in fairly small pieces. So that is the first way to chop your onion. My second technique is I'm going to use this. This is a small chopper. Now, this one you don't need the root. We don't want the root actually in the onion itself. So again, curling your fingers back and running down the knuckle, just cut, keeping your fingers away from the knife. Then these choppers, you need to start the onion off. So I will cut this into 4 sections. So I'll cut once down the middle and then again through and again through that way. This chopper has a small cover, and what we do is we place the onion in the centre of our chopping board, and this can make a lot of noise and that, but if you're angry, this is a good recipe to use, because you just go as you're chopping. The blades inside this chopper actually rotate a little each time, but sometimes you just need to also stop, turn the chopper a little, and then just repeat. And we have some quite nicely chopped onion pieces. Actually, there are still some quite large pieces in there, so I'll give it an extra few chops. And that should be about right. And even though some of our pieces, this one must have escaped, still quite large, you don't need to worry too much about how big the onion is. You can just break some up roughly with your fingers if you like even. As the onion cooks, it will reduce and will be incorporated into the meat anyway. So don't worry, it doesn't have to be nice and fine, just allow it to cook down along with the meat later. The next stage of preparation is to start to cook the onions. I'm just going to use a little olive oil, about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and this will not fry the onions. You just want to cook them through until they're nice and soft, and then they will finish cooking as we actually cook the cottage pie itself. So we now put these onto a warm electric ring. Keep the handle turned away from the front so you don't actually walk into it and knock a hot pan onto the floor. So we're putting this onion into the pan now, and we will begin the cooking process. Still got a little left on the corner of my chopping board. These onions are nice and soft. It takes about 5 minutes or so on a medium heat. Now these onions are starting to become soft now. They've been cooking for about 5 minutes and the kitchen is now starting to get the aroma of the nice cooking onions. The thing is, you want to keep the temperature towards medium, not too high. As you can hear, there's just a low sizzle rather than a high-pitched frying sound. This shows that the onions are heating through nicely without actually frying. We don't want frying because that could lead to the onions tasting a little too bitter in the pie when it's finished. But just keep gently stirring and bringing things from the centre to the edge and then back from the edge into the centre, just to keep from sticking to the bottom of the pan. We don't want burning, we just want lightly cooked onion. If this were the traditional English shepherd's pie, we would be adding minced lamb to the dish. Instead we're making what in England is known as a cottage pie, in that it has beef rather than lamb. But here in the United States, any cooked meat with a potato topping tends to be called a shepherd's pie. You can also use an alternative meat such as soy, that can be added at this stage, or you can add other things like turkey, which doesn't taste quite the same. I find rather flavourless, but if you're consciously looking for particular mixtures, you can use your favourite type of meat. Now, I've gone for a medium mix of meat and fat. Here I'm using an 80-20 mix of beef, hamburger, minced beef, whatever you prefer to call it. That means that it is 80% lean meat, 20% fat. I find if you use the cheaper hamburger mixes, those tend to have a lot more fat and can leave your pie tasting very, very greasy, can cause a heartburn, and it's not very pleasant after you've eaten it. So buy the most expensive hamburger mince mixture that you can afford, and then you can, if you need to and there is too much fat in the mixture, you can drain off some of the fat before you actually put this into the mixture into the pie itself. So there are ways of avoiding too much fat in your cottage pie, shepherd's pie. So the next stage is now to add the beef to the onions and just break it up a little before you actually add it, and then we just empty the onion into the onion mixture, and then we take it back to the heat where we add spices, salt, pepper, Worcester sauce. We can now see that the meat is starting to warm through, and we've mixed it quite well now with the onions. We've been stirring for about 5 minutes, and now we come to add our spices. So First of all, I'm going to put in some pepper. I'm going to do ground black pepper. Salt and pepper you add to your own taste. If you like a lot, then that's fine. And we'll add some salt. As you can hear, there's still sort of a rough, slow cooking of the. Don't add too much salt at this stage. You don't want it too salty. You can always add a last pinch of salt at the table, but you don't want your guests just eating very salty cottage pie. And I'm going to add some garlic powder, just a couple of shakes of garlic powder. You can leave out the garlic powder if you don't like garlic. That. Again, just stir in a little. And I'm also going to add a little Worcestershire sauce, and this will also add a little salty flavour, but really bring out the flavour of the meat. And you need about, say that was about a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and you can really smell that sort of Worcestershire sauce coming through now. I really enjoy that in any meat dish. It's also very good as well if you add a little Worcestershire sauce to your scrambled eggs. It adds that little extra lift to the flavour, but that's for another video. So while our meat and onion mixture is finishing cooking, I'm going to prepare a mashed potato. Now you can make your own mashed potatoes by boiling potatoes and mashing them how you like, but I'm going to use some already powdered potato. Just open our packet and put it into a mixing bowl. Now for this mixture of mashed potato, we need about 2 cups of boiling water. I do have some water which is already boiled, and I have my measuring jug, and I have this device. It's a liquid level alarm. So as we pour the water in to the mixing bowl, we just pour in, and shortly we should need to put our fingers in our ears because this is very, very loud. That's telling us about the level, and that is about 2 cups. That is actually a very useful device if you are needing to measure liquids. It will fit onto a cup or a glass, and now we will add this water, a little of the water to our potato. Start mixing it around. Just put in all of the water and just mix it in and allow the potato to dissolve in the water. It's just quick and easy. If you want, just keep turning the bowl as you mix. That allows you to scrape all of the mixture out off the edge of the bowl and into the centre of the potato. It stiffens up and takes about a minute to firm up into some nice, fairly reasonable mashed potato. Now we have come to the point of assembly. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check for the salt in the meat. Just get a small bit. That seems to be fairly well salted for me, so we have a glass casserole dish. You can make this, I'm going to make this as one large shepherd's pie, so this is going to be our serving dish as well. You can make it as individual small dishes. I've even seen it made in a jacket potato, where you hollow out the potato, leaving you with a potato skin. Then you put your meat mixture into the potato, and the potato which you scooped out, you then mash and cover the top of the potato, and then finish it by baking in the oven for a few extra minutes. So we will now begin layering our pie, carefully keeping the pan centered over our dish. In this case, just gently tilt the pan over the dish and lift out of the dish, so we don't pull the dish off as we don't want it to fall into the sink. We don't need to actually grease the dish. This will not really stick to the sides. Just smooth out our meat mixture. Now I'm going to use some frozen carrots and frozen peas. If you want to, you could add this to the meat mixture before, or it doesn't really matter. You can actually add the mixture as an extra layer, so it would be like you are making a lasagna. So this then becomes the middle layer. So we have this here, peas and carrot. You can use any vegetables that you really like. Sometimes I've used a mixture of peas and sweet corn, and that. Level that out fairly roughly, so don't worry that these are frozen, they will cook through in the oven, and no problem. Now we add our potato, mashed potato. This will be our top layer, and actually quite hot at the moment, so just rolls out slightly. Just put a little in a moment, just smooth that out, then put in the rest of our potato. It's actually the most difficult part of preparing a meal, is making sure that you get the potato and the meat and everything all inside your casserole dish. Otherwise, it's a fairly simple and straightforward mixture. You can add cheese to the potato if you want cheese. As you know, if you've seen any of my other recipes, I absolutely love cheese, but I'll refrain from putting a lot of cheese into this mixture. You can add a little butter or whatever. Just make it nice and smooth if you like. If you want to give it a little crust, then if you take the back of a fork and just scrape it across the top of the potato, that will have a ridge and furrow effect and will allow the top layer of potato to actually crisp up. So there we've our prepared shepherd's pie. Now, as you can perhaps tell, I have not been able to resist, and I have had to add a little sprinkling of cheese and also some chives just to add a little bit of colour. And the good thing about this is now everything is actually cooked apart from the frozen vegetables, but we can put this straight into the oven now for about 20 minutes at 350 degrees gas mark 4 to heat through those vegetables and also melt the cheese. And if we had made this, say, the night before, we could have kept it in the refrigerator overnight and brought it out about an hour before we wanted to serve it, in order to put it in the oven for about 40 minutes to warm through again. Or if you really want to, you could actually add this, take a piece of this and put it into the microwave and microwave it for a few minutes on high heat, and that would cook it, warm it through, and it would be equally as delicious. So I will now put this in the oven for about 20 minutes and we'll see what it looks like when it comes out. So our shepherd's pie has now been in the oven for 20 minutes and the cheese has nicely browned, and we have a very good looking shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie is delicious, hot or cold, and if you want to, you can add a salad to the meal as well, and it's great for a family meal, or if you want leftovers, then it works very well as well. So I hope you enjoy my take on shepherd's pie or cottage pie, and that you will join us again in another edition of Low Vision Kitchen. Thank you.